Welcome back to Got Keikki's help videos. Right now we're going to be talking about setting up a quote template that is sustainable and can be used multiple times over for many different types of cake. So we're going to navigate to our profile icon in the bottom right hand corner. We're going to click on that and we are going to go into our quote templates. So we're going to open this up. Now, as you can see, this page automatically opens to quote templates. So a third of the way down the page on the right hand side, you can see the purple line is underneath the word quote templates. So there in brackets is the number 19. That means that I have 19 quote templates created within the app. So yes, I have been super busy. Now, this is a fake account and I have created that just for educational purposes. So if there is a little mistake in here, a disclaimer, I am the CEO of the company and I am not a baker, hence why we built Got Keikki. So look, as you can see in here, there's a similarity in the naming convention of each of our quote templates. At the moment, bakers can name these quote templates whatever they like. We will be bringing out another release within the next 2 to 3 weeks, which will take us to about June, which will, I suppose, streamline the naming convention of these quoting templates, which will just bring you more uniformity for all bakers. But for now, we ask bakers to manually name each of their quote templates. What we're going to do is we're going to create a quote template together. So I can teach you how to create a quote template once, and it can cover multiple different types of quotes over and over again. Okay. So what we're going to do is, as you can see, our quote templates are split into cakes, cupcakes, and biscuits. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to create a new cake template. Now, getting back to the naming conventions, a little handy tip right now, look, we are building a database that will automatically pop up suggestions for flavors and standard quote templates and so on. But for now, it is very manual. But look, bear with us, we'll get there. So my recommendation for everyone is in your notes section of your phone, what I do, just to save a bit of time, is I pre-populate everything in my notes so I can keep track of it, tidy it up there. So let's just, for argument's sake, let's set up a quote template for a single tier, single barrel. My barrels are going to be set at 3 layers, and that is a 5-inch cake to serve 8 people. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go back to my Got Keikki app. I'm going to paste that in. Oh, allow paste. So as you can see, we are calling this quote template a 1-tier, single barrel, 3 layers, cake, 5-inch size to serve 8 people. Okay, so I'm going to put down here for single barrel cake. I'm looking at 8 people. I'm going to put in here that my serving price is I'm going to serve 8 people, and I'm going to put in here that my price per serving is $9. That is going to give me a base price of $72 for that cake. It is pretty cheap, I do get that. And everyone is going to be different in terms of, the smaller the cake, whether you're going to have a higher price per serving. It's completely up to each individual baker how they do their serving. Some people might say, well, look, we actually, for the inconvenience, we're going to charge that out at $10 per serving, which will give a base price of $80. So let's just say, let's keep it at $10 per serving, nice round number. So we go in here and we say, okay, so we've given this a title that is sustainable and evergreen. We've set this particular cake, obviously because we have said it's 1-tier single barrel and it's a 5-inch. We know that it's going to serve 8 people. We know that it's $80 base price. Don't stress, guys. You can actually charge more than $80. It's just about how smart you get with your particular premium options. So we're going to get to that now. So the next stage you do with your quote template is we click the bottom and it says add categories. So as I have said in one of my previous videos, every quote template requires sections or like headers, certain categories within the quote to get your job done. So our quote categories automatically pop up. So we are in the cake quote templates. We're creating one for a cake. The system is set up that it will automatically pop up on the screen all of the categories that relate to a cake. So you can see here we've got cake flavors, icing types, icing flavors, cake fillings, cake themes, cake toppers, and dietary options. So the numbers that you see next to those headers, 13, 9, 7, 29, 10, 6, and 6, that means that within each of those categories, there are 13 or 9 or 7 or 29 and so on options within those categories. So these are all important. So the reason they pop up on your screen is because us at Got Cakey have flagged them as being major components of any quote for a cake. So let's just, for argument's sake, go along and say, yep, we want to add all of these categories to our quote. They will become headings within your quote. So we're going to now press add to template. So if you scroll down a little bit further, you will see we've got the quote for this style of cake or size and structure of cake. We've got the number of servings. We've got the price per serve. So we now have a base price. This is where it gets fun. Within a base price, as you can see, it is set at $80 base price. We need to provide buyers with some standard options because a base price, if you're charged a base price for anything, generally that comes with a car. If you go and buy a vehicle and you buy the base model of the car, it still comes with 4 wheels, right? It doesn't come with 3, or it doesn't come wheelless. So within a base price for every product sold on Got Cakey, the buyer needs to be able to walk away with a complete product. So if you are doing a cake, you need to have some, and you've said that the base price for this cake is $80, you need to be able to have some standard options in there that they can choose from that is not going to cost extra. So generally, you can see here that because we've already previously set up our quote categories and our options within each category, it's just simply a case of selecting them now in your template and turning on which ones you do want to offer the customer and which ones you don't. So looking here in our cake flavors category, we had already pre-populated. So we've got our standard options here, which, go from deep chocolate all the way down to vanilla and chocolate swirl. You'll see that there is no additional cost next to the purple button. That is because it's considered a standard option. So for this particular cake, let's just say that I didn't have any other flavors or any other ingredients on me, and all I wanted to offer as a standard flavor for this particular order was chocolate and vanilla. Okay, I'm going to go and turn off all of those other options. So deep chocolate and vanilla is turned on, and you'll also see down here it's pulling through my premium options from when I set up my my standard categories. So we look here. Okay, if I leave all of these purple switches on, it is going to mean that when we send an offer to a buyer, the buyer is going to be able to choose any of these. So he or she can choose the deep chocolate or the vanilla at no extra charge. But if they, end up choosing the cookies and cream, for example, that's going to put an additional $10 on top of the base price. So that would essentially take an $80 base price to $90. And so on and so on. So through your premium options that you set up right when you get onto Got Cakey, that is the way that you can upsell, and increase the, I suppose the checkout value for your store. So we go through, I'm just going to keep all of these on for now. And we then continue on. We go down to icing types. So for this particular cake, I might just say, look, I want to keep this particular cake I'm going to turn everything off except buttercream. Now, just keeping in mind here, when we set the icing types, I know there's a lot in there that probably doesn't, chocolate, milk, choc drizzle. That's not really going to be applicable for a cake, right? But remember, when you set up your options within your standard categories, when you first got onto Got Cakey, that was more a case of just populating within your entire business, list all of the different icings you do and list all of the different types of flavors of icings that you do. Put them all in there in one beautiful big bucket so that when you create your quote templates, you can choose to include them as an option or not include them as an option. So, for example, this one we're going to say, look, we only want to offer the clients buttercream, and you may turn around and say, oh, look, we also may want to offer them a cream cheese frosting, so we'll turn off all of these. We don't want marzipan, we don't want ganache, and we don't want royal icing. So royal icing is mostly used on biscuits or on a cake where you need a really hard surface to do a design. So